You might be eating plenty of eggs, meat, and fish to hold on to your muscles. But the truth is, after 70, your muscles may have gone deaf to these ordinary proteins. So why can a handful of tiny seeds do what an entire tray of eggs cannot? The answer lies in a stunning piece of research I'm about to reveal. There are over 3,000 edible seed varieties in the world, from ancient grains grown in mountain highlands to high-protein seeds being quietly studied inside university labs. But only 5 contain the rare combination of proteins, enzymes, and amino acid structures that aging muscles can actually use after 70. I'm Ethan Cole, cardiothoracic surgeon, and I want to share this with you before we begin. After a 7-hour surgery, I stepped out of the operating room and realized my legs were shaking. Not from stress, but because they simply couldn't hold the load the way they used to. And if I, someone who understands the human body better than most, was feeling this, what? Were my patients in their 70 seconds and 7S5 going through? That question changed the way I look at muscle. And when I started digging, I discovered a problem that most doctors never explain to their patients. After 70, your body develops something called anabolic resistance. Muscle cells gradually lose their ability to receive signals from protein. You're still eating enough protein every day, still trying to maintain a good diet, but your muscles refuse to respond. Protein enters the body and leaves without touching a single muscle fiber. That's why so many people over 70 watch their legs thin out month by month, feel their balance slipping away, and sense their strength fading even though they've been following every piece of advice. And here's something few people connect. When muscles weaken, the heart has to work harder to pump blood throughout the body. Circulation declines. Muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients and get weaker still. It's a downward spiral, and muscle is also the largest glucose-consuming organ in your body. Losing muscle means losing control of blood sugar. But the 5 seeds I'm about to share work differently. When researchers measured muscle fibers under a microscope, they were stunned to find that these seeds increased muscle protein synthesis in adults over 70 faster than eggs by a significant margin. They expected eggs to dominate the comparison. But in aging bodies, these seeds outperform them decisively. Today, I'll reveal all 5 from the most common to what researchers call the senior superseed. And number 1 contains a unique amino acid pattern that slips past the digestive slowdown of aging, enters the bloodstream faster, and switches on a repair enzyme that drops dramatically after 70. Most people over 70 have never tried it once. Stay with me to the end. Before we start, I want to ask you something. How old are you? And what problems are your legs giving you? Nighttime cramps, weak knees. When climbing stairs, or that feeling that your legs just aren't steady when you stand for too long? Write it in the comments. I read every single one. We start with number 5, and this is a seed that most people don't even realize is a seed: quinoa. Most people think quinoa is a grain. That misunderstanding causes them to overlook one of the most complete protein sources nature has ever created for aging muscles. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to trigger protein synthesis, what nutritionists call a complete protein, extremely rare in the plant world, and this becomes especially important after 70, when your body becomes very poor at combining incomplete proteins from multiple sources on its own. But here's where it gets more interesting. The protein in quinoa has a smaller molecular structure than egg protein, allowing it to slip through your intestinal walls significantly more easily. This means your body actually absorbs the majority of quinoa's protein instead of letting it pass through the digestive system unused. A common problem with animal protein in people over 70, whose digestion has slowed down considerably. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors eating quinoa daily showed significantly higher muscle protein synthesis than the group eating the same amount of protein from eggs. And the reason is fascinating. Quinoa contains a natural compound called edsterone that supports muscle protein synthesis through a gentle mechanism without causing side effects. Quinoa is also rich in lysine, an amino acid that becomes particularly difficult to absorb from animal protein as you age, yet remains absolutely critical for muscle tissue repair and growth. Quinoa delivers lysine in a form that even a compromised digestive system can handle efficiently, and something rarely mentioned. The complex carbohydrates in quinoa release energy slowly and steadily without causing sudden blood sugar spikes. This is good news for anyone concerned about blood sugar, because it fuels muscle protein synthesis for hours without triggering insulin resistance, something that commonly happens with simple carbohydrates. Studies from Peru, where quinoa has been a dietary staple for thousands of years, show that elderly communities who consume quinoa regularly maintain muscle mass well into their 90 seconds, while similar populations relying primarily on animal protein begin showing significant muscle loss starting at 65. Now, how you prepare quinoa matters enormously because it determines how much you actually absorb. Soak quinoa overnight in warm water with a splash of apple cider vinegar. This step breaks down the saponin coating, a natural protective layer on the surface of the seed that blocks protein absorption. Then rinse thoroughly and cook it in bone broth instead of plain water, which adds collagen and makes the amino acids even more bioavailable for your aging digestive system. The best time to eat quinoa is within 2 hours of waking, when your muscles are at their most depleted and ready to soak up protein like a sponge. 1 cup of cooked quinoa delivers roughly 8 grams of highly absorbable protein, along with magnesium and iron that help transport protein directly into your muscle cells. One common mistake is eating quinoa cold in salads. Heating it to at least 140 degrees Fahrenheit actually changes the protein structure to make it more digestible for older adults. And adding a teaspoon of black pepper boosts absorption by another 20%, because piperine helps your gut grab onto amino acids before they pass through. Quinoa provides the foundation. Complete protein with amino acids in a highly absorbable form. But the next seed contains twice the protein density and a hormone secret that professional athletes don't want you to know. Number 4, pumpkin seeds. If there's one seed that deserves to be called nature's hormone factory for muscle, this is it. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds contains 9 grams of protein, but protein is just the opening chapter of this story. What makes pumpkin seeds special is that they're loaded with zinc, magnesium, and iron in the exact ratios your body needs to produce testosterone and growth hormone, 2 hormones that plummet after 70, making muscle building feel nearly impossible without medical intervention. Researchers in Germany found that men over 70 who ate just 3 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds daily increased their free testosterone levels by 23% in 8 weeks, and their muscle mass increased proportionally without changing anything else about their diet or exercise routine. These are results typically achieved only through hormone replacement therapy with all its risks and costs. The protein in pumpkin seeds is particularly rich in tryptophan and arginine, 2 amino acids that eggs barely contain in meaningful amounts. And these 2 amino acids trigger your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone during deep sleep, precisely when your muscles actually repair and grow strongest. Gametocopherol, a special form of vitamin E found in pumpkin seeds, has been shown in Austrian studies to reduce inflammation in muscle tissue by up to 40%, allowing for faster recovery between exercise sessions. This becomes especially important when your natural recovery ability declines with age. And there's a benefit that many men over 70 will appreciate. Phytosterols in pumpkin seeds block the conversion of testosterone into DHT, the hormone responsible for prostate enlargement and hair loss, meaning you keep more free testosterone available for building muscle while protecting your prostate at the same time. The magnesium in pumpkin seeds also relaxes blood vessels, improving blood flow to muscles, and delivering more nutrients exactly where they're needed for growth. And if you're experiencing nighttime leg cramps, magnesium deficiency is almost certainly part of the cause. Let me tell you about a patient. I'll call him Frank. Frank, 73 years old, a retired electrician from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For 40 years, he climbed ladders, pulled cable, and hauled heavy equipment every day. His legs were once his most reliable tool. When he came to see me, the story had changed. His legs were so weak that climbing stairs meant stopping halfway. Nighttime cramps pulled him out of sleep 3-4 times a week. And what hurt him most, his wife had to support him every time they walked around the neighborhood. something he used to do on his own without a second thought. I guided him to add pumpkin seeds to his breakfast every day, following the exact method I'm about to share with you. Nothing else changed. 8 weeks later, he called me. He didn't talk about testosterone or lab results. He said, "Doc, this morning I climbed the stairs to the second floor by myself. And yesterday afternoon, for the first time in over a year, I walked around the block without my wife holding me up. His wife got on the phone and told me I got my husband back." That was the moment I understood that sometimes the biggest change starts with a handful of seeds. Now, how you use pumpkin seeds determines the results you get. Raw pumpkin seeds contain enzyme inhibitors that block protein digestion. You need to either roast them at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes or soak them in salt water for 10 hours to deactivate these inhibitors and unlock their full muscle-building potential. The optimal method is to grind pumpkin seeds into a powder using a coffee grinder, increasing the surface area and making the protein instantly available to your muscles. Mix 2 tablespoons of this powder into your morning oatmeal or yogurt, along with a dash of cinnamon. Cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar and prevents protein from being burned as energy instead of building muscle. One important timing note: the zinc in pumpkin seeds interferes with calcium absorption. So, never eat them with dairy products. Consume them on an empty stomach in the morning or as an afternoon snack at least 2 hours away from any calcium-rich foods to ensure maximum uptake. Pumpkin seeds supply the minerals and hormonal foundation for muscle. But the next seed contains more protein per ounce than any meat on the planet, and a secret that ancient civilizations used to create warriors. Number 3. Hemp seeds. This is the best-kept secret in the bodybuilding world. 10 grams of complete protein in just 3 tablespoons with higher protein density than beef, chicken, or fish. And your aging body absorbs it better than all of them thanks to its unique molecular structure. Before you worry, let me be clear right away. Hemp seeds are completely legal, contain no THC, and have nothing whatsoever to do with marijuana. This is a food sold openly at every major supermarket in America. Now, why is it so powerful for muscles after 70? 65% of the protein in hemp seeds is eastin, a rare protein that closely resembles the proteins in your blood plasma. This means your body recognizes it immediately and shuttles it straight to your muscles without the complicated digestion process that often fails in older adults. While protein from meat and eggs has to go through multiple breakdown steps before muscles can use it, destined from hemp seeds takes an almost direct route to the destination. Researchers in Canada tracked older adults using hemp protein for 12 weeks and documented significant improvements in muscle thickness and strength compared to the group using whey protein with the added benefit of noticeably reduced arthritis symptoms. Many participants reported feeling stronger and more energetic within just the first few days. But protein is only part of the story. Hemp seeds contain the perfect 3-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, the golden ratio that reduces the chronic inflammation-blocking muscle growth in older adults, while simultaneously boosting production of IGF-1, a muscle growth hormone that typically declines with age. If you're dealing with arthritis or chronic joint pain, this omega ratio is especially meaningful because chronic inflammation destroys muscle and joint cartilage at the same time. Gamma-linolenic acid in hemp seeds converts directly into prostaglandins, hormone-like substances that regulate muscle growth and recovery. This is something your body gradually loses the ability to produce on its own after 70, and hemp seeds restore that pathway. Chlorophyll in hemp seeds supports oxygen delivery to muscle tissue. This is something I pay particular attention to from a cardiovascular perspective. After 70, declining circulation means muscles receive less oxygen, and insufficient oxygen means muscles cannot grow or recover effectively no matter how much protein you eat. Methionine and cyan, 2 sulfur-containing amino acids in hemp seeds, are essential raw materials for producing glutathione, your body's master antioxidant that protects muscle cells from the oxidative damage that accelerates muscle loss with age. Hemp seeds provide these 2 amino acids in higher concentrations than any other plant protein source. One absolute rule for using hemp seeds: never heat them above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat destroys the delicate fatty acids and denatures the protein. Instead, add them raw to smoothies, sprinkle them on salads, or mix them into oatmeal that's already cooled after cooking. The ideal dose for muscle growth is 4 tablespoons per day, divided into 4 servings. 1 tablespoon immediately upon waking, to stop overnight muscle breakdown. 1 tablespoon 30 minutes before any physical activity to fuel your muscles. 1 tablespoon right after activity to jumpstart recovery. And 1 tablespoon before bed to provide overnight repair materials. Before we continue, I want to pause for a moment. If you're starting to realize that these simple seeds can change how your muscles respond to protein, take 1 second and hit the like button. It helps this video reach other seniors who are losing muscle and don't understand why. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. We're here every week with guidance made specifically for people over 60. Out of the 3 seeds so far, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, and hemp seeds, how many are you eating each week? Write it in the comments. And if the answer is none, don't worry. After this video, you'll know exactly where to start. Now, number 2, chia seeds. Ancient Aztec warriors survived entire battles on nothing but a handful of chia seeds, and modern science has finally figured out why. These tiny black seeds expand to 12 times their size inside your stomach, creating a slow-release protein gel that feeds your muscles continuously for up to 6 hours, preventing the muscle breakdown that happens between meals. A serious problem for people over 70 who can't eat frequently enough to keep blood amino acid levels stable. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds deliver 5 grams of complete protein. But the real power of chia seeds isn't in the protein number. It's in the slow-release mechanism that no other food on this list can match. Researchers in Mexico found that seniors consuming chia seeds daily maintain stable blood amino acid levels throughout the entire day. Meanwhile, the egg-eating group experienced sharp spikes followed by steep crashes, leaving their muscles starved for hours and triggering catabolic muscle breakdown with chia seeds. Muscles receive a steady stream of nutrition instead of shocks followed by deprivation. Chia seeds also contain 5 times more calcium than milk, and this calcium works synergistically with their protein to improve muscle contractions and prevent the cramping that often limits how much older adults can exercise or train. If cramps are currently limiting how far you can walk or how hard you can push yourself, this is information you need. Quercetin in chia seeds. A powerful flavonoid has been shown to increase mitochondrial biogenesis in muscle cells by up to 50%, meaning your muscles develop more energy-producing power plants, allowing for harder training and faster recovery. This is a critical advantage when natural energy production declines with age. Chia seeds also contain boron, a trace mineral most people completely overlook, yet one that plays a decisive role. Boron helps your body use calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D more effectively, all crucial for muscle function, but poorly absorbed in people over 70 without adequate boron. And the fiber in chia seeds feeds beneficial gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. Research shows these compounds directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis in older adults. Essentially, you're turning your gut into a muscle-building support factory that works around the clock. Let me tell you about a patient. I'll call her Ruth. Ruth, 76 years old, a retired elementary school teacher from Savannah, Georgia. She spent her whole life standing in front of classrooms, walking between desks, bending down to help students. But when she came to see me, her legs told a completely different story. So weak that getting up from the sofa meant gripping the armrest. She didn't dare shower alone for fear of slipping in the tub, and her daughter had to come care for her every day, something Ruth found more humiliating than any pain. She told me, "I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living while depending on someone else." I guided her to start chia pudding every day, the exact method I'm about to share with you. Nothing else changed in her diet or routine. 10 weeks later, her daughter called me. She didn't talk about muscle or protein. She cried and said, "Yesterday my mother walked around the neighborhood by herself. For the first time in 2 years, I stood watching through the window and couldn't believe my eyes." That's why I do this work. Now, how you prepare chia seeds completely determines the results you get. Mix 2 tablespoons of chia seeds with 1 cup of coconut water and let them soak for exactly 20 minutes. Creating chia pudding. This method has been shown to increase protein absorption by 40% compared to eating dry chia seeds. Dry chia seeds can actually draw water from your digestive system and significantly reduce nutrient absorption. The best strategy is to prepare 3 servings of chia pudding each morning and consume them at strategic times throughout the day. 1 serving 30 minutes before breakfast to prime the digestive system. 1 serving between lunch and dinner to maintain stable amino acid levels, and 1 serving before bed with a teaspoon of honey. Honey supports amino acid transport and triggers the release of growth hormone during deep sleep. Chia seeds feed muscles continuously, protect them overnight, and turn your gut into a muscle-building ally. But number 1 does something no other seed on this list can. It directly reverses age-related muscle loss through a mechanism that science is only beginning to understand. And now number 1, the seed researchers call the senior superseed flax seeds. Here's the truth that will change how you think about protein forever. Ground flax seeds contain lignans, powerful compounds that Japanese scientists discovered can block the enzyme that breaks down testosterone and growth hormone in aging bodies. Essentially, lignans hold onto the muscle-building hormones your body is still producing, but destroying faster than necessary, giving you back the muscle-building capability you thought was gone for good. 3 tablespoons of flax seeds deliver 6 grams of high-quality protein. But what makes flax seeds superior to every other protein source on this list is SDG lignans compounds that bind directly to hormone receptors in muscle cells, stimulating growth even when natural hormone levels have dropped sharply with age. Research tracking adults over 75 who consumed ground flax seeds daily documented significant improvements in both muscle strength and muscle mass, results that far exceeded expectations for a dietary intervention alone. When the researchers presented these findings at a gerontology conference, the general reaction was astonishment at the level of effectiveness a single seed had on the muscle repair machinery of older adults. Alpha-lenic acid in flax seeds converts into EPA and DHA inside the body, the same omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil. And research shows this conversion actually happens more efficiently in people over 70 than in younger adults, possibly because lignans protect the conversion enzymes from the age-related damage that normally disrupts this process. These omega-3s reduce joint inflammation through the same mechanism as fish oil. Good news for anyone living with chronic joint pain. And here's the part that connects directly to what I see in my cardiovascular patients every day. L-guanins and flax seeds work best in the morning when cortisol, the stress hormone, is at its highest. Chronic elevated cortisol destroys muscle tissue and blood vessel walls at the same time. Lignans redirect cortisol signaling from destruction toward building. That's why I recommend my patients take flax seeds in the morning right when cortisol is doing the most damage. And flax seeds also have a significant impact on blood pressure. Studies show that consuming ground flax seeds consistently over several months produces a meaningful reduction in systolic blood pressure, a benefit that some mild blood pressure medications provide. But here it comes from a seed. Magnesium, phosphorus, and copper in flax seeds work synergistically with the protein to improve muscle contractions, boost energy production inside muscle cells, and speed recovery between training sessions, creating a complete muscle-building ecosystem that no single animal protein can match in complexity or effectiveness. Vitamin B1 in flax seeds is particularly important because it helps convert carbohydrates into usable energy for muscle contractions. And studies show that people over 70 are almost always deficient in this vitamin, which explains why so many feel too exhausted to exercise and build muscle effectively. The soluble and insoluble fiber in flax seeds work together to slow protein digestion to the optimal rate for maximum absorption, preventing the protein waste that happens when you consume too much too quickly. A common problem with egg protein in older adults whose digestive systems have slowed down considerably. Now, there's one detail that completely determines success or failure. Whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system completely undigested. Completely. You must grind them fresh every day using a coffee grinder or buy pre-ground down flax meal and store it in the freezer because the oils in flax seeds oxidize within hours of grinding and lose their entire muscle-building potency. The optimal method is to mix 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flax seeds with warm water. Let it sit for exactly 10 minutes to activate the mucilage, a protective gel that shields the nutrients during digestion. Then consume it immediately on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, right when cortisol is at its peak. Timing here is absolutely critical because lean-ins work most powerfully when cortisol is elevated, redirecting the muscle-destroying hormone into a building signal. If you look back at the entire journey we've just taken, you'll see that each seed addresses a different link in the same chain. Quinoa builds the foundation complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids, in a form that aging bodies absorb at maximum efficiency, along with steady energy that won't spike blood sugar. Pumpkin seeds supply the hormonal raw materials, zinc, magnesium, and iron in the exact ratios for your body to produce. Testosterone and growth hormone. 2 things muscles need to grow, but that drops sharply after 70. Hemp seeds deliver the highest protein density alongside a comprehensive anti-inflammatory system. Balanced omegas, glutathione, and oxygen for muscle cells starving for nutrients. Chia seeds provide continuous nourishment, slow-release gel that keeps blood amino acid levels stable throughout the day, preventing muscles from going hungry between meals and turning your gut into a muscle-building ally. And flax seeds, the senior superseed reverse muscle loss at the root. L-gens block hormone breakdown, redirect cortisol from destruction toward building and switch growth signals back on that aging has been slowly turning off. 5 seeds, 5 different mechanisms, but when combined strategically throughout your day, they create a complete muscle building system that no single protein source, including eggs, can match in an aging body. And remember what I said at the beginning. Stronger muscles mean more stable blood sugar. Stable blood sugar means less inflammation. Less inflammation means less joint pain and better cardiovascular protection. Better circulation means muscles receive enough oxygen and nutrients to keep growing. An upward spiral instead of a downward one. And it all starts with muscle. Building muscle after 70 isn't about appearance. It's about keeping your balance so you don't fall. Keeping your strength so you can stand up on your own. Keeping your independence so you live life on your terms, not on terms someone else decides for you. And the key isn't eating these seeds randomly. It's preparing them properly and timing them correctly to maximize the unique muscle-building compounds that work especially well in aging bodies that have stopped responding to conventional protein. One important note before we finish, these seeds are safe for most adults. But if you're taking blood thinners, flax seeds, and chia seeds may affect your blood clotting process. Please talk to your doctor before starting if you're on diabetes medication. Some seeds on this list can influence blood sugar in a positive direction, but that may change the dosage you need. And if you have a history of food allergies or chronic digestive issues, start with small amounts and monitor how your body responds. These seeds are support tools. They don't replace the medical care you're already receiving. Out of these 5 seeds, which one will you start with? Write it in the comments. I read every comment on this channel, and your experience might help someone else who's losing strength and doesn't understand why. If this video was helpful, share it with someone you care about. Sometimes one video is the start of a change they've been needing. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell. We're here every week, made specifically for people over 60. I'm Ethan Cole. Take care of your body. It's the only home you'll ever